Okay. And go.
We created Nerv with the idea that we could progress in WoW raid content, as well as have an actual community to be active in. And we really weren't getting that from any of the other guilds that we were raiding with at that time.
And so would you say now that the community is pretty good?
Absolutely. We now support multiple games more than just WoW and are looking to expand, and honestly, it's more than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah, so my most memorable moment in Nerv so far has been when we were doing a heroic clear of Tomb of Sargeras. I just switched from a bear tank to my Demon Hunter tank, and we were on Avatar Sargeras, which is the second to last boss in the raid, and everyone decided to shit the bed and die with about 80 million left, and I sold the boss from 80 million to 0. It was just fun to experience. Like, it wasn't a world first or anything like that, but it was just a really cool experience to go ahead and kill the boss by myself with everyone else dead, and we were all cheering and like making jokes. It was just a fun, enjoyable moment of raiding so far that I've enjoyed.
Okay, my most memorable moment in Nerv is so we were crossing the bridge on Iminar, and Arth took the Warlock Gate and promptly flew off the side, and I proceeded to clip the ever-living daylights out of it.
I think my most memorable moment in Nerv is when we killed Mistress what's-her-face at the end of TOS, because we kind of wiped like 300 times on that boss, and killing it was a very relieving and great experience. Let's go! And I got a 955 Storm Relic. So that was easily the best moment that I've had in Nerv.
My most memorable moment in Nerv was probably when I got my first legendary parse on Dogs. It was my first legendary parse ever, and I was still a trial, but everyone got really excited for me. I'd been struggling with my DPS, so it was nice to feel like everyone was on my side and rooting for me, even though they barely knew who I was. There have only been amazing moments since then, so it was really exciting for me. And also when I died of pulling early on bosses. It's really solid.
That would have to be during Iminar progress. It was like the first pull of the night. I like walk over to where I like stand on Iminar, and I just watch Fang jump off the edge, and then I just see above Ryotson's head, just in chat, bye. And like this goes on for like 5 or 10 minutes of Fang jumping off and Ryotson saying he's gonna life grip him, and he didn't, and it was the funniest thing ever.
So my most memorable moment in Nerv was the first time we killed Tychondrius in Mythic Nighthold. We kept having troubles trying to do it with 2 tanks, and so even though I normally would do damage, I ended up tanking, and the first couple of kills we 3-tanked it, and it was really cool being able to do something outside my role and still leading to doing a boss in a very unorthodox strategy, and being able to still get my sweet ret loot.
Well, I guess there'd be 2. For World of Warcraft, I think my most memorable moment was when as a group we finally took down Mythic High Botanist in Nighthold. I think it was one of our probably hardest pushes that we'd had at that point, and it's really, I think, what set us up for the future that we have now in the game, and gave us the confidence that we could push Mythic content and keep going further and further. So that was a really, really proud moment of mine and one of my favorite memories from raiding. As a community in whole, the most memorable moment I have is when we added the Destiny 2 group to our Discord channel and to our community. It was the beginning of a new chapter for Nerv, and it was the first additional game that we added, and I'm so glad to see how it's grown and that it's, even through hard times in Destiny, it keeps going strong.
My most memorable moment in Nerv was tanking my very first Mythic boss with Nerv. We were doing a Mythic Scorpion, and it was probably my most memorable boss fight with Nerv.
My most memorable moment from Nerv would definitely have to be the day we killed Thick Mistress. Oh my god, was there a lot of patience and teamwork going on there. It was such a great day. And I was so happy when we got it down. And I got loot, which made me happy.
Okay, so my most memorable moment, I guess I have a few. So one of the most recent ones is, so Nerv does a couple events every month, and recently there was a transmog event, and it was fun because I got to see different people dress up, and I'll be the first one to say that my transmog always sucks, but it was fun seeing other people's transmogs and their ideas. And at the end, we were just having fun and being silly and just sort of running around. And I remember for like the last thing, we just like flew up in Stormwind and just dropped to our death. So that was pretty memorable and it was fun. Another memorable moment was, I think, most recently, definitely our Mythic Kingaroth kill.
Oh no.
Slate, kill it. Slate, kill it.
Sleep. Another walk. Something.
Diabolic bomb.
Oh, not
just
no.
one demon hunter.
Anything, Slate.
Come on, man.
Smite harder.
Yeah!
Oh my god, you did it!
Oh, clutch!
What the heck?
We got the world.
So those were some big highlights as well.
My most memorable moment in Nerv, it would probably be that time the Ader died over and over again on host, and Arth was like, "Don't ever play like that again."
Okay, so my most memorable moment in Nerv has to be the time when I edited the video for the opening of the new raid in Towards the Burning Throne. It was just remarkable because it was the first time we ever got everyone in the guild all together to, shoot a shot. I mean, we had everyone in Nerv, Team Mogs, green and black, everyone in green Mogs, and we were just running around in, Argus, and just, it was a great time, and you could really feel the love and the passion and commitment that was there for Nerv. It was just great because on the day we started the raid, the very first day, we just introduced this video. It's like, hey guys, this is us. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be cutting edge. And it was probably one of my most favorite moments ever.
So my most memorable moment in Nerv probably has to be killing Mistress for the first time. The epic nerd rage was probably the best I've heard since like BC days.
So my favorite aspects of Nerv are like just the people, right? Like everyone is so cool and chill, and like it's a really diverse group of people, right? But at the same time, everyone is always willing to talk and hang out, and like there are just some random conversations that happen, right? Like I was talking to Fi about something super unrelated, and then we got into a really in-depth conversation about D&D, and it was really cool. So just I like those kind of moments like that, right? Where even though we're all really different people, we still have those commonalities and can have really cool and interesting conversations.
My favorite aspect of Nerv is probably the community one. There are so many people playing so many different games, it never seems like you should be bored. And if you are, there's always something to do. There's WoW, Overwatch, Monster Hunter, like you name it, somebody's doing it.
So for sure, my favorite aspect is just the community that we've built so far. When I first joined Nerv, it was up and coming, I guess you could say. There was like you and Kizu and Arth and Malk, but I've solidified myself as like one of the old members now, minus some socials and casuals. But it's just like the teamwork and the relationship that I have with all of you guys, where we can make personal jokes at each other but not take it serious. Or we all enjoy raiding together. We also do like the transmog competitions and the other things that we've done as a community, and it's just really brought more of just playing a game. Like the one guy that we just were talking to mentioned, like he just plays the game, doesn't really care about anyone in the guild. And I think I care about all of you on like a friend in-game level, but like I would have no problem hanging out with any of you outside the game. We all get along great, and that's what I love about Nerv so far.
So my favorite aspects of Nerv has to be just kind of it's a laid-back attitude. Do heroic on off nights, and it's kind of fun, and everyone has fun. And then just kind of the mythic raiding environment, and sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking, but that's with any mythic progression. But most of the time, it just kind of once a raid ends, those nerves kind of leave, and then still we have fun outside of mythic raiding.
I'd say my favorite aspects of Nerv probably be, I think probably the leadership, I'd have to say, is pretty solid. Like we have had some shit go down in the past, with other people, people leaving mid progression on Mistress, or some other things in the past. But I think our officers have done a pretty good job in keeping everything together, and they lead us pretty well, not gonna lie. They keep us as the Raiders going pretty strong, no matter how many wipes we have on whatever boss, whether it be Mistress, Seminar, or even like Hasbro or fucking High Command.
So my favorite aspect of Nerv is definitely that everyone is so strong and handsome, but it's probably more likely it's just the fact that Boba is actually everything. He's literally the best guildie.
So my favorite aspects of Nerv is definitely the social aspect and the raiding. One of the reasons I did join Nerv in the first place was to raid, and it just so happened to have a really good community, and that's spearheaded by a core group of officers who make sure that the environment is fun to play with, and they host events every month, and it's a lot of fun here. So definitely some of my favorite aspects of Nerv.
My favorite aspect of Nerv is, at least in from an operational standpoint, everyone, like the officers, are all really involved. There's a lot of effort that's really obviously given to smooth out the entry process, which does a lot to curry favor with your guild.
So my first couple days in Nerv, obviously when you're trialing, it's always kind of nerve-wracking, because you're just like, how am I doing? What if I don't match up? What if something bad happens, or things like that, right? But everyone was really, really chill. Nobody ever made me feel bad about it. My first raid day, 6 different people messaged me after the raid, just like, hey, you did a really good job, and stuff like that, even though I hadn't done any of Mythic and Taurus. So I was nervous about the fights and mechanics and things like that. But no, everyone just made me feel really, really welcome. And then over the next couple days, I did a bunch of dungeons with people, and just a bunch of stuff outside of raiding, and it was just very welcoming and a very cool atmosphere to be in. It didn't feel like there was the raid team and then I was just a trial outside of it. It was like, no, we want you to be part of the raid team group.
So the first couple of days in Nerv I was feeling pretty good because I had a pretty inflated ego since I had trialed on, at the time they were progressing on Mythic Chromatic Anomaly in Nighthold, and I was the top DPS, and it was a real wheelchair boner for that moment.
So my first couple of days in Nerv was weird because it all started with this signing of a charter. Malk was even our original guildmaster at the time. It was the guy from the old guild that we were in. He decided he didn't want to do it, so Malk and I just started going at it, and we would pick anyone we could off the streets to go run heroic Nighthold or normal Nighthold when it came out, and we just slowly built it from there, one raider at a time. So my first couple of days of Nerv were kind of stressful, to be honest, but the end result was really great because now we have this great big family.
My first couple of days in Nerv were eventful. I had the old tank message me asking if I can tank heroic Gul'dan for them, and I back then was not very accustomed to doing heroic, especially the final boss on a heroic difficulty. It was something I wouldn't probably do when Nighthold was out for another few months. That was my end game for the tier. So jumping up that far ahead, I said, sure, I can give it a good go. That's, I guess, what made my spot in Nerv today.
So my first couple of days were probably different than a lot of people's because I play a tank, and in a raid scenario, there's only 2 of us. And in this case, we have 3 because the GM and raid leader are both tanks. But when I first joined, everyone was like super positive and was giving me like, pat on the shoulder, telling me how good of a job I was doing because the previous tank was not very good or didn't want to do this or didn't want to do that. And I love everything about World of Warcraft and MMOs in general, from raiding to Mythic Plus to carrying. I don't really care what it is. I'll do whatever. And for having someone that's a tank where there's so little of us, there's not a lot of tanks, but so little in a guild that are like skilled, to me it's awesome because makes my ego feel better, I guess you could say.
So my first couple of days of Nerv, like I said earlier, I got to jump into raiding immediately, so that was awesome. I remember doing Mythic Plus with people back when I still did them sort of regularly, and so yeah, that was fun. It was good to do Mythic Plus with people and just sort of get involved with people that were already in the guild, in the community. And yeah, and so now I am an officer and I help out with healing, because I remember talking with healing to the previous heal officer, and I've always enjoyed healing a lot, so getting to the point where I get to be an officer and help out with that is awesome. And now I recruit as well, so I get to talk to more people and try to find more people to play with and to get into our community. So yeah, my first couple of days were filled with raiding and Mythic Plus, and I still raid and I still occasionally do Mythic Plus. So that's that.
We have came so far from where we've been in the past, and we continue to grow, and we will keep continuing to grow as a community and as a player base.
I guess faith in the guild is that by the end of Legion we'll have cutting edge, and I have full faith in expectations and the capabilities of the leaders and the very sexy guildmaster, Mr. Malk, getting us to that point.
Happy anniversary, Nerv! I'm totally looking forward to BFA with all of you. And also, fuck you, Mathis.
I know it's been a long road for many of you. It's been a fun experience for me. I hope you guys have had fun as well. I look forward to being a cutting edge guild here in the near future. I look forward to raiding Mythic content in BFA, and I hope that everyone that's here is with us there. Hopefully we can grow as a community as a whole and can be the best that we can be. And so far, I mean, everyone here, I've really enjoyed my time with you guys, and I look forward to more memories.
I think all you raiders out there are doing just okay. And we're gonna get cutting edge probably, hopefully. And I'm the best Windwalker monk on the server. Easy. Peasy.
Hi, this is the Red Shirt Guy wishing Nerv on Storm Rage a happy anniversary.
Keep strong. Keep pushing and enjoying what you're doing, and keep in the community. If there's one thing I think has been made clear through this, is that community is the most important aspect we have.
And I feel like with Nerv, we have people in this community that have helped shape World of Warcraft and gaming as a whole to just understand that we're more than just a raid team or just a guild, that we want to know how your day was. Or
You guys are all awesome. You don't have to be anything or do anything to be awesome, you just are. Just keep being a family and keep being cool.
So I started raiding for the gear, but what kept me raiding as long as I was able to until I got super burnt out was just being able to play with a lot of really fun people. And people that just did silly stuff and then we didn't get taken too seriously.
Nerv is awesome, so keep up the great work. Everyone is super fun to play with, and I hope to see everyone in Battles of Azeroth and beyond.
I just want you guys to know that it has been a crazy year, and none of this would have been possible at all without any of you. And I am so very thankful for everything you guys do, and how much effort and love and passion and commitment you put into the guild, and trust that you have in us officers. I honestly cannot ask for anything else than what you guys have given. This is a fantastic team. I'm really looking forward to BFA and seeing you guys there. Thank you so much.
The flames will consume you. The non-stop pop out and stainless steel. Go hard getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make the motherfucker want